Hello, welcome back. Get ready for a journey through alternate realities as I count down the top 10 space movies of all time. These films have taken us on incredible adventures, challenged our perceptions of reality, and left us in awe with their stunning visuals and unforgettable stories. Strap in and prepare for an out-of-this-world experience.
I gotta get back to my sister, please. My sister, she's alone. Please, I gotta get back.
We're not going back.
Number 10. Stowaway 2021. A team of astronauts including Commander Marina Barnett, biologist David Kim, and medical researcher Zoe Levinson embark on a 2-year mission to make Mars habitable. As the mission approaches the critical point of no return, they discover the hidden, unconscious, and wounded fourth passenger, Michael Adams. With limited oxygen resources, the crew must prioritize breathing and face an ethical dilemma, as someone must die. The question remains, who will survive?
We have a job to do. Are you ready? I'm ready.
Number 9. Ad Astra 2019. The US Space Command suspects that the Lima project and the long-lost astronaut Clifford McBride may be responsible for the energy surges sweeping the solar system and Earth. Major Roy McBride, Clifford's son, must travel to Neptune to determine his father's survival and find the source of a problem threatening the galaxy's stability. The answers lie 4.3 billion kilometers away, but Roy is determined to answer the ultimate question in the emptiness of space.
We're looking at the first proof of life beyond Earth.
Number 8. Life 2017. A group of scientists from Earth were sent to explore Mars at the International Space Station ISS. They received a soil sample from Mars with a sleeping cell, which grew larger. During an experiment, the living creature attacked the scientists and escaped through an internal air vent. The scientists were both concerned about protecting themselves and terminating the creature before it killed them. Despite their efforts, the smart alien would do anything to survive.
Our sun is dying. Mankind faces extinction.
Number 7. Sunshine 2007. In 2050, Icarus, a human space mission, attempted to approach the sun to bomb it, but disappeared without a trace. In 2057, Icarus 2 with an 8-person crew is making one last attempt to resurrect the sun. As they reach the far side of Mercury, they discover a distress signal from Icarus 1. After a debate on the pros and cons of doing so, the crew decides to approach Icarus 1 to find survivors and use their payload as extra insurance. However, this change has inherent risks, including the risk of self-preservation and the potential sacrifice of crew members. The team may also discover the reason for Icarus 1's failure, which could mean life and death for them and those on Earth.
First man to walk on the moon. That'd be something.
Number 6. First Man 2018. In 1961, NASA test pilot Neil Armstrong was flying an X-15 rocket plane when it accidentally bounced off the atmosphere. His colleagues feared his recent mishaps were due to distraction and he was grounded. Armstrong's daughter Karen was undergoing brain tumor treatment and he kept a detailed log of her symptoms. She died soon after. Armstrong applied for Project Gemini and was accepted to NASA Astronaut Group 2. Armstrong, his wife Janet, and their son Rick moved to Houston, where they befriended Elliot C. and Ed White. Sladen emphasized the importance of the Gemini program as the Soviet Union had achieved milestones in the space race ahead of the United States. Armstrong and Janet had a second son, Mark. By 1965, Armstrong was selected for crew and was informed that he would be the commander of Gemini 8, with David Scott as the pilot. It's a controversial issue whether or not he went to the moon. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Number 5. Gravity 2013. The crew of the Space Shuttle Explorer is on a spacewalk when they learn of an explosion at a Russian satellite. The debris damages the shuttle and station, killing all crew except Kowalski and Stone. The crew is left in a precarious position as Stone's oxygen levels are decreasing and Kowalski must retrieve her quickly. They must also attempt to reach another satellite with available equipment and return to Earth. This isolation leads to individual questions and decisions about their own mortality and the best course of action for the other crew members.
Over and out. Rock and roll. God bless America.
Number 4. Moon 2009. Sam Bell, the sole occupant of a moon-based manufacturing facility, is eager to return to Earth after 3 weeks in his contract. He is alone, mainly talking to himself or his plants. Direct communication with Earth is difficult due to a long-standing malfunction, but he occasionally receives occasional messages from his wife Tess. However, an accident leads him to realize he is not alone and that his world is not as it was before.
I'm still alive. Surprise.
Number 3. The Martian 2015. A team of astronauts on a Mars mission is forced to abort due to an unpredicted storm. Mark, a crew member, is hit by a projectile and thrown away. The crew believes he died due to a rupture in his space suit. Despite this, Mark survives and must find ingenious ways to survive until the next scheduled mission 4 years later. As a botanist, he manages to cultivate food and survive by scavenging parts from previous missions. NASA discovers his existence and attempts a daring mission to bring him back alive. Only time will tell if they succeed in bringing him back alive.
It hasn't been covered up by natural erosion or other forces. It seems to have been deliberately buried.
Number 2. 2001 A Space Odyssey 1968. A black monolith has a significant impact on humans, affecting them in 2 specific time periods. The first period occurs 4 million years ago, at the dawn of man, and ape men begin to display unknown behavior. The second period occurs in 2001, with 5 astronauts aboard Discovery 1 on a mission to Jupiter. At the beginning of the mission, 3 astronauts are in hibernation, leaving mission commander Dr. Dave Bowman and Dr. Frank as the spacecraft's commanders. The 6th astronaut, HAL 9000, is an artificial intelligence computer that controls the craft's functions, including keeping the 3 hibernating astronauts alive. HAL, an artificial voice, is made more astronaut-like and often has conversations with the astronauts. The 9000 series computer is considered infallible, and any errors made by humans are caused by the computer's knowledge of classified information about events at Clavius, a lunar outpost 18 months earlier. The conflict between the astronauts and HAL becomes a fight for survival, with profound consequences for the human race.
I've got kids, Professor.
Get out there and save them.
Number 1. Interstellar 2014. In the future, Cooper, an ex-science engineer and pilot, is tied to his farming land in the American Midwest. As Earth crops suffer from sandstorms, the people realize their life is coming to an end. Cooper, with his scientific intellect and ability to pilot aircraft, is asked to go on a daring mission into a wormhole to save the human race by finding another habitable planet. Cooper must decide whether to stay or risk never seeing his children again.